Certainly, Vice Mayor. Mayor Bright Cruz. Vice Mayor Hartman.
Here.
Councilmember Albritton.
Present.
Councilmember Jablonski.
Present.
Councilmember Kaczynski.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Newell, would you lead us? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Vice Mayor, do we need a motion?
Yes, we do.
Make a motion to excuse Mayor Bright Cruz.
Second.
All right. Any discussion? There is no discussion. Deborah, would you call the roll?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Albritton.
Yes.
Councilmember Jablonski.
Yes.
Councilmember Kaczynski.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hartman.
Yes.
Mayor Bright Cruz. Motion passed.
Thank you. All right, so folks, we've got something on the agenda tonight I don't believe we've done before. Davey recognizes Officers of the Year every year. And as most people know, Davey provides us with our public safety department, both police and fire. And we thought, since they're recognizing a Southwest Ranches Officer of the Year, we'd love to do the same. So first, I have a proclamation here that is announcing that we recognize Officer Jose Nunez as our Officer of the Year for 2024. We're also going to do something in another 6 months. And what we'd like to do, we get letters regularly, emails, all sorts of communications from our residents on various meritorious activities of the Davie PD that cover our town. They do great things all the time. And when they, unfortunately, people don't see the great things at 3 o'clock in the morning when they catch a lot of the bad guys. But they do great things. So what we've asked Davie PD's brass to do is pass down anything that's meritorious, and anything we get from residents that is meritorious. He's keeping his car clean isn't the right thing, but they do save people's lives. They do all kinds of interesting things and meritorious things. So we'll probably do that opposite the Officer of the Year. So now we'll do Officer of the Year. In 6 months, we'll do meritorious recognition. So with that said, let me read the proclamation. Whereas on March 6th, 2024, Officer Jose Nunez observed a vehicle making an illegal U-turn at 6700 Dykes Road. And whereas Officer Nunez initiated a traffic stop and made contact with the driver. And whereas during his investigation, Officer Nunez discovered the driver had an active warrant for weapons possessions out of Puerto Rico and was in possession of a handgun with an extended 30-round magazine. Whereas Officer Nunez placed the driver in custody, and during his inventory of the vehicle, he discovered a duffel bag which contained 18 kilos or 20,000 grams of illegal narcotics, estimated at $342,000. That was in our town, folks. Whereas Davie DEA task force officers arrived on scene, conducted their interview, seized 2 cell phones, and the offender was charged with armed trafficking. And whereas Officers Nunez's proactive approach to police work and investigative experience removed a dangerous threat from our town, and through his work ethic, continues to keep our community safe. And whereas today the town of Southwest Ranches seeks to honor the actions and commitments that Officer Nunez has provided to South Florida in general and our community specifically, now therefore be it proclaimed that the Town Council of the Town of Southwest Ranches does hereby proclaim this 10th day of April 2025 as Officer Jose Nunez Day. You have your very own day. Why don't we go down and get a quick picture? Officer Nunez, would you like to make some comments?
I'm just very honored for this recognition. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
We're so happy to have you.
Is yours?
Sorry. Forgot about that.
And Vice Mayor, if I can just take a moment to also recognize Public Safety and Traffic Committee member Rick Conrad and ask him to join us in the picture as well, if that's okay with you. Sure.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on now, you're right there with me. You're the one in charge of everything, come on. Thank you.
Oh, there goes the photograph.
Everybody squeeze together like you like. That's nice, that's good. And Dan is photobombing us again, but that's cute.
I was gonna say, that'll keep.
Well, congratulations. Thanks so much for your support of the town.
Thank you.
If we could just announce too that what we did was not only the proclamation, but as a token of our appreciation to Officer Nunez, we also provided a gift card to Outback so you could take your family.
There you go.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
For government, it doesn't include a check for $10,000. Thank you, Russell. All right, just a quick comment before we start public comment. We had a situation where South Florida Water Management was going to take down the Eden Perry life rings that we have, that we just installed along Griffin Road Canal. They consider them to be a maintenance issue. Well, I think that they've gotten probably enough of an earful to realize that they're creating for themselves a major PR issue. How can you say take down life rings? So they are not. We're allowed to keep them up. So if you're here to speak on that topic, we're not going to be, it's no longer an issue. Okay. Keith, do you have any speakers for this evening?
Nope.
No. Wow. Make a note, 10 after 7, we're almost finished with the meeting. Okay. Any board reports? I would imagine, oh, Harold, it's all yours.
Don't want this to end too quickly, right? Council, give you a quick update. Can you hear me okay? Yeah. Give a quick update. We do have we made a decision on the next tour for the recycling center. It's going to be April 30th. However, we do need to get the word out, and we will get the word out in terms of having people sign up. So a few of us have signed up, but as you see people, I don't know if we'll get in the newsletter in time or anything like that, but we are looking to fill that up.
Count me in, I'll go again.
Okay.
It's cool.
So anyone here or anyone who's listening, please look to attend and just notify Dan or call the office, and then we'll get you set up there.
April 30th, what time?
April 30th at 10 a.m.
10 a.m., thank you.
Okay. So it's going to be a great event, and leading into, on June 7th and the town's birthday, the Zero Waste Advisory Group is going to be having a booth. We're going to be working with Susan and whomever else to make sure that we use that as a key event to educate, to get the word out. We're also going to be looking to do some kind of incentive programs for those that come through a small education, a couple minutes there, and then another incentive to see whoever goes on the recycling tour. So I think we have some budget, or we'll be asking you guys for a small amount of money and to help get some nice mugs or these kind of coolers kind of things, and that will have the Southwest Ranches, and really kind of give an acknowledgement for those that have taken the time to learn about what we're doing at Zero Waste. Good news is that we're kind of back on track, moving fast on the consultant for the RFP. So met with the town council, the town administrator and procurement, and we're hoping that we'll have that out in the next month or two and really have someone started so that before the end of the fiscal year, we were actually making some good progress with that consultant that's going to help us with the zero waste strategy and sustainability. And as part of that, I've also started some relationships, and I know some others here I've talked to, but looking for synergies with other towns and cities that are, in fact, doing a little bit more, a little further ahead of us. So Deerfield is going to be one of those. So I've reached out to, they actually have a sustainability person there, and we're going to connect with them to see some of the lessons learned and try to take advantage of what they've been doing. So I think that kind of covers that, the updates there. Any questions?
And for those who you don't know, Mrs. Harold Kubnitsky,
Oh,
who,
yeah, I guess I should have said that.
who is the chair of the Zero Waste Advisory Board, our newest board in the town.
Yes. So, thank you, everyone.
All right, then. Let's see. Council member comments, Gary?
Yeah, I'll start it off. First off, thank everybody for coming, especially Jessica. We appreciate her coming by today and bringing her mom. Sorry, can't help it. Got to embarrass her somehow. Anyway, just a few announcements. One of them is really important. We have hazmat at the barn on the 3rd of May. It starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. They do drug prescription drop-off and various paper shredding, personal, up to 4 banker boxes per person, per household. And it's at the barn on the 3rd, so I just want to make sure everybody understands that in May. Coming up this Saturday, we have a townwide Easter egg hunt on the 12th. It's at the barn. It starts at 11 a.m. with pictures of the bunny and pictures with the bunny rather. And the egg hunt starts at 12 noon in the fields. So it's all free. So everybody please come. The kids, bring your baskets. Just an item of note, the Broward County Property Appraisers will be here on the first Tuesday of each month from 10 to 2. We have our 25th birthday, which is on the June 7th at the barn. It's going to be an all day of events and barbecue and ice cream and all kinds of stuff, and it's all free to the residents. So please come and enjoy yourselves. We've been here for 25 years, which a lot of us wondered 25 years ago if that was really going to happen. And side note on that is we're going to have a parade starting at 10 a.m. Down up Mather Boulevard to the barn. We're urging students to apply for the scholarship now. That time is coming soon when the applications will be cut off. Just an item of note, the 5K that we had last week was great. There was $7,000 contributed to the town scholarship fund, thanks to all the volunteers who worked it and to the Sikh Youth Society who organized it and ran it in conjunction with a lot of sponsors. It was really, really good. Another item of note that I didn't realize, and if you're a blood donor, there's a permanent location. You don't have to wait for the big red bus to come around. There's a permanent location for One Blood in the countryside shops right off of Sterling and on the east side of Flamingo Road. You can go in virtually with no reservation, no waiting. Just wanted to mention that. And the really, really big news I wanted to mention was, did anybody ever see that basketball game? That was great. The Gators won. Outstanding job. So I just couldn't help but pass that one along. So, and that's it.
All righty. Who's next?
I'll go. Congratulations, Gary. Well
I
deserved.
didn't do anything.
It was your team won. It's great. It's a great day. All right. David Kaczynski, District 4. I want to thank folks for coming out tonight. Really got a short bit of comments. I was just handed the data from our radar signs that we have in Sunshine Ranches, the one in Hancock, the one on Luray, and the one on Mustang. I haven't had a time to digest the numbers, but I was told beforehand there was a couple of cars that were caught doing 90 miles an hour in Sunshine Ranches. Yeah, that's inexcusable. All right, but I have to look over these numbers, digest them. But I am really honored to, with an appointment to the Zero Waste Advisory Board. And I'd like to ask Jessica Hartman to stand up. And Jessica is going to be my appointee on the Zero Waste Advisory Board. You got a big agenda ahead of you, and I wish you the best of luck, and I'm a phone call away if you need anything.
Can I
That does
just
it for
make
me.
a quick comment? So Jessica is well prepared. She just went through some training on zero waste this week, and I think she'll, like everything she applies herself to, she'll put 110% into this. And I know this because she's my lovely daughter.
All right. So congratulations, Jessica. We'll
All
see you at the meetings. That does it for me.
Jim?
Yeah, Bob, thank you. Bob, I do personally want to say congratulations to Officer Nunez. I was able to attend the Davy ceremony when the awards were given out, and it was quite an honor. I was there with Russell and with Rick from the Safety and Traffic Committee. It was quite an honor to be able to present that to him, and it's nice that we have officers like that, so I'm really appreciative that he's here. Also, I'd like to take a minute and thank the Sikh Youth Association. I'd like to thank all the volunteers that made it possible, all the sponsors that made it possible, all the runners who covered the course, police and fire department who were there to keep us safe. I got there early in the morning as the rescue team was pulling up, and I'd give them my personal phone number and address so they could take me wherever I needed to go. I wasn't sure if I'd make it. I've been doing it for 7 years. I have lost 7 minutes in 7 years, so that's a minute a year. So I guess when I'm 100, it'll take me an hour to get there. So I'm doing pretty good, but it was a great event, just a great, great event. All right? You heard Bob mention that the rings, the life rings, Aiden Perry life rings were taken down. That was a mistake. Didn't mean to happen. The director of the South Florida Water Management District give his word this evening. They're going back up. They may not be in the exact same spot. They may have to move them 3 or 4 foot one way or the other. It's a maintenance problem, so they have to mow around them. But it doesn't matter. I don't think 5 foot's going to make a difference one way or the other as long as they get back. And I think that's just a great, great thing. Also, I'm very proud to say that I've been working for a few months along with the school board, along with our House representative, to put up guardrails at 53rd and Dykes. We went out there early in the morning several months back. The cars are flying through there. The students are standing right next to the road. They got their earphones on. They got their phone in their hand, not paying any attention. So we're going to put up a set of guardrails there so they can stand behind those guardrails. I understand, am I right, Russell, that the contract is out, and so they should be going up real soon.
Yes.
But we don't need a pad there. We were talking about putting a concrete pad there, but there's an intersection, and they can stand on the actual asphalt, which is decent, but they'll be behind the guardrail. So I was really happy that that got done. The safety and traffic, I don't know if most of you understand that the Safety and Traffic Committee comes up with the ideas like the Officer of the Year and so forth. They came up with an idea here a couple months back that we wanted to stop these trucks that come in here on the weekends and during the week, the dump trucks especially that are overloaded. They come in here loaded to the hilt, they tear up our roads. So the committee asked if Russell would check into finding out who had a set of scales that would be willing or could help or whatever. Much too costly for us to do. Town of Davie didn't have the scales or the personality, so our administrator, Russell, reached out to the Florida Highway Patrol. They agreed to bring the scales for nothing, and they started this past Tuesday, and I got a picture of a highway patrolman stopped behind one of the dump trucks right out here on one of our streets. So most of these dump trucks, if you don't realize, are privately owned, and when they stop them, it's not just for weight. It's for everything. Their tag, their lights, their tires, their driver's license, their logbook, they go through everything. And if they're in violation, it's costly. So if we start hitting them in the pocketbook, as we have done with the radar guns, we'll get these people off the street. And I think that's just an absolute great thing, you know. And then lastly, Dykes Road, Dykes Road has a problem with people making U-turns coming off of Griffin, headed south on Dykes. They go down, I think they're trying to get into Tom Thumb, realize that they can't because there's a barrier there. So they go up a few 100 foot and make a U-turn. It's very dangerous. So we are actually looking to try to make a turn lane there, widen it on the east side a little so there'll be a comfortable place for them to turn around. And hopefully there'll be no accident. This is a preventive measure. There hasn't been any accidents yet, but let's not wait till an accident happens before we do something. And then lastly, Astronite Foundation, the Parks Foundation, Southwest Ranches Parks Foundation has asked the town if on Tuesday nights, once a month, then they'll pick the Tuesday night, if there could be a food truck event at the sanctuary where the carnival's held, once a month or so. So that is something the town's considering. If you've been to any of the food truck events for the elementary school there at Hawks Bluff, it's a great event. I don't think there'll be loud music and all that. It's just another thing for our community to come together, just like we did for the Sikhs 5K. So I encourage everybody to get behind it and let's see if we can't make it work. And naturally, the farmers market, thank you, Steve, is doing great. Now it's Saturday and Sunday. That parking lot's always full. So if you haven't been out there, get out there. That's all I got, Bob. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Jim. You guys covered pretty much all the topics I was going to, so in the interest of time, I'm only going to mention one thing. Jim had mentioned the dump trucks. When this discussion's gone on in the past, it was always, you know what? One truck driver is just going to get on his phone or tell his friends that there's a, we used to call it motor carrier compliance when I worked for the Turnpike, the people that look out for the overweight trucks. We don't have anything against sand and gravel truck drivers or concrete truck drivers, anything like that. They have every right to use the roads, our roads, not an issue. It's when a truck comes in that's overloaded, that's only supposed to weigh 20,000 pounds, and they have an extra scoop or two of fill on there. That weighs as much as a car. And it's not even the extra weight of the vehicle, it's the wear and tear on our roads. And if we were Fort Lauderdale, where there's not a heck of a lot of construction going on, it probably wouldn't be that big a deal. But there aren't too many streets in town right now that doesn't have a house going up, where I suspect will be built out. Our goal is to get these guys to comply with the law, not to get tickets. And if they tell their friends, hey, don't go into Southwest Ranches, FHP is writing tickets, we just want them to change their behavior. Come back with the right load. That's all we care about. If your driver's license is not up to date, you better deal with that, because if it's not FHP, it'll be the local guys that get you. So it's really all about preserving our roads and safety and all those types of things. Other than that, that's all I have. Any comments from legal? None? Okay. From the administration?
Just one thing, Vice Mayor, just for brevity's sake. The town is going to be, we've actually started the process staff-wise of our newly revised strategic planning process. And so part of that has been an initial meeting with staff to kind of jump off the initiative, but also planning out how this is going to go. And we plan on having charrettes with the public. And one of the major components of a strategic plan is to do a resident survey. So this way we can identify the issues that are most important to the residents and try to quantify those and make sure that we're tailoring services and programs that are responsive to those needs and wants. We have always realized that we were going to need some outside assistance for that. We have some funding in our current budget that we have not utilized that I would like to reallocate for hiring a consultant for this purpose.
Facilitator?
Yes.
Process?
Well, this is for the creation just of the resident survey.
Oh, okay.
So we've identified a firm that we want to work with, and we have a proposal from them to move forward with them. It's within my purchasing authority, but we were planning to do that and bring it to you in budget in fiscal year 26. But we have the opportunity now because of funding that we did not use when we were utilizing Sage Consult, which was the firm that Andy was affiliated with. Since we didn't use most of that funding, we have that funding now. I would like to reallocate that funding and move it up and use it for this particular initiative right now. So just want to basically put it out there on the table for transparency purposes that we want to use $10,000 to go ahead and formulate the resident survey with this consultant and move forward.
So you just want consensus from us?
Yes. Just
Do you guys have any questions, any comments, any concerns?
I have none.
None. Yes.
Looking for a motion or something?
It probably wouldn't hurt to have that, so sure, why not?
All right, I'll make a motion that we allocate the 10,000, reallocate it.
Second.
Okay, I'm all in favor of moving it up. I mean, the sooner the better, because things are changing out here big time, so the quicker we get our arms around it.
And the quicker we can get the survey out.
Yep, yep. Any public comment? Seeing none. Deborah, would you call the roll?
Councilmember Jablonski,
Yes.
Councilmember Kaczynski,
Yes.
Councilmember Albritton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hartman.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, that's all I have.
That's all? Okay, Russell, thank you. All right, so next up on the agenda, we have a resolution. Deborah, would you read it in the record, and then whoever's going to explain it?
Yes, sir. This is a resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Southwest Ranches, Florida, opposing SB 1822 and House Bill 565 that would define the term auxiliary containers and prohibit local governments from regulating them, which is a direct intrusion of the constitutionally established home rule powers of the town, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Motion approved.
Second.
Second.
Got a motion and a second from Gary.
All right, folks.
Discussion?
Yeah. Folks that are here, folks that are watching out in YouTube land, during this past week's meeting with the Zero Waste Advisory Board, an article was circulated among us, and it was from Local 10. It says, Florida House, Senate pushing bills through that would end plastics regulation. In short, legislature's back at it again, taking more of our home rule away. And I once again, I must just use the word I'm angry, okay? I almost said it, but I didn't. Okay, yeah, it really ticks me off that the legislator keeps clawing at our home rule. And what they were going to do here, they're going to add more teeth to a 2008 state preemption law. Preemption means they're taking away our powers that barred local governments, that's us, from reducing or eliminating the sources of plastic polluting our town. And the whole concept that we've been doing with the Zero Waste Task Force, Zero Waste Advisory Board, the recycling initiatives that we're pushing, the reducing and eliminating the single-use plastics, all of this would die if this passes. And I think it's important for us as a recycling community, as a plastics eliminating community, that we tell the legislature that we are opposed to this, because we're doing this to not only look for now, we're looking for the future for our kids. After all of us are gone, we got to save this planet for those that'll come after us. So that's why I asked to get put on the agenda.
Thank you, David. So I'm going to back up David's comments with a couple of facts from some documentation we got. There's a group in Miami called Clean Miami Beach. In the past 6 years, their organizer, Sophie Ringel, has organized about 453 cleanups, which have collected over 122,000 pounds of trash off the beaches. The majority of that is plastic. And they don't want us to regulate, all the beachfront communities had regulations on, you can't throw plastic cups, styrofoam cups. You're not supposed to have those on the beach, straws, all that kind of plastic. Because you know where it goes? It either goes in the ocean or it's going to be thrown on the beach. It just, based on what we're seeing here, that's what happens. Majority of it's plastic. But, she doesn't want to put the blame on people, but better regulation and perhaps better laws in place would certainly deter. It's like if you go to certain places, they don't allow glass. Makes sense. Certain places you go, maybe you don't allow single-use plastics. But the legislature keeps saying people don't want these laws. What's interesting, because it says here that the 2021 Florida Department of Environmental Protection report found that 93% of Floridians surveyed favored the regulation of single-use plastics. But, of course, the guy who put the bill together pushes back. He says, most of the people that answered this report were people who are concerned about plastics. I think most people are these days. It's not about the everyday Floridian who goes shopping. Come on. We have our zero waste task force that meets here monthly. And we've seen a couple of videos that have been produced literally all around the world on the impacts of plastics. There's one called We Are Plastic People, where they've been doing research on this group of people to understand the amount of plastics that we have now in our body. And the interesting thing was there was a grandmother involved who grew up before plastics were as common as they are today, and she didn't have very much plastic in her, but her grandson, who is a very young boy, is loaded with plastics at his age. So they don't want us to regulate it. They know best up in Tallahassee. We don't necessarily agree. These are the kinds of things, because they're backed up by all sorts of campaign contributions from interested parties. It's hard to fight, but we keep trying. Any other comments? All right, so I guess we need to vote on the resolution.
Move.
Oh, Deborah, you need to read it into the record. I apologize. I'm not following what needs to go on here.
No, sir, I read the resolution.
Sure read it.
You did read it? I'm sorry. Okay, is there any public comment on this? Okay. Any further discussion?
I think it's a great resolution, and I think it's a great cause.
Yeah,
So I
thank
move
you for
it.
bringing this up, David. All right, Deborah, would you call the question?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Kaczynski?
Yes.
Councilmember Albritton?
Yes.
Councilmember Jablonski?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hartman?
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right, last item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the February 13, 2025 regular meeting. Is there a
to
motion?
approve.
All right. Motion
Second.
from Gary, second from Jim. Any discussion, corrections from the council, from the public? All right, Deborah, please call the question.
Councilmember Albritton?
Yes.
Councilmember Jablonski?
Yes.
Councilmember Kaczynski?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hartman?
Yes.
Minutes passed.
All right,
Motion to adjourn.
Record.
that
It's a
concludes,
record.
that is a record.